right? So this is great. All you do, for anyone who's used mascara before will know this trick, less is more. Nobody likes clunky, chunky eyebrows or eyelashes, all right? Same thing on your hair. I'm not going to put this on my hair because for obvious reasons. But what you do is you use it like a normal mascara brush. So if you've got a few grays through the front you just want to get rid of, perfect. It'll last until you wash your hair next time. All right, so it's not going to leak onto your face or bleed down onto your face or anything like that. Really, really simple, great way to get rid of those few grays you just want to hide for the time being. The other new kid on the block in the old temporary color area, which I think is really, really good, and for anyone who hasn't tried it, I would highly recommend them, are these little things. Root retouchers, all right? They are just a gift that just keeps giving. So let's say you've colored your hair brown. You've colored your hair, you normally color your hair permanently with the brown, and you haven't had time to go into the salon, or you can't make it to the salon for whatever reason. Let's have a look at how this thing works. Pretty straightforward. It's simply a little aerosol like that. I won't spray that because I have a habit of spraying it all over myself, which is not probably the best thing to do. But what I would recommend with these is give them a good shake. Obviously, first, pick the color that goes with your hair color, obviously. What you do is, number one tip when using a root retoucher, before I even begin, put a towel around your shoulders. This is an aerosol spray. So remember, if you spray this and you miss your scalp, there'll be droplets of color. If you're wearing white or pink, like I'm wearing now, and you spray this, you may get some of the droplets on your clothes. That's fine, they wash straight out. But if you're in a hurry, nobody really has the time to really do that. So put a towel around you, very lightly, just spray the roots, spray around the hairline. Try to avoid getting it on your skin. If you do, wipe it off straight away. Same thing, it will last until you wash your hair again. So if you get caught out in a shower, like we have today here in Sydney, it's not going to run onto your skin. You need to actually shampoo it out, all right? So that's the best thing to hide if you've got quite a few greys going on through your part or through the sides or wherever. But you know what? Not everybody wants to hide their greys. Some people, grey hair is really good. It looks great and they should wear it great. Some people, it really, really suits. So I haven't forgotten about you. Those who like keeping their hair grey, who look good with their hair grey, a couple of things you can do to brighten it up in this period of time. One, silver toners. Silver toners, best thing. They'll just freshen up your hair. There's another one. It's an anti-yellow shampoo, something with a bit of violet. That'll counteract any yellow. It'll freshen everything up. There are always a good idea, things you can use to basically freshen up the grey hair and keep it looking nice through this period of time. Now, there's something out there which I find really, really fun. And I think that in this period we've just gone through that lots of younger people have been using it. They're coloured shampoos. So I've got one here. It's a pink shampoo. We actually have them in a few colours. There's blue, there's purple. And I've been using the silver one myself at the moment because probably like a lot of you, I haven't been going anywhere. So I've just been trying everything out at home myself. The poor skincare company's going broke because I keep using all their skincare range. But you know, the hair care, I've been trying all of these. Loads of fun for young people as well, for young kids who, you know, most schools won't allow them to colour their hair. They can shampoo this in their hair. Next time they wash it, it will come out. All right, it's very, very simple. And as I said, there's 4 shades within that range. So that's so now we've got through the kind of temporary colours that are available. We'll look at something that's a little bit, not hard, it's certainly not difficult to use, still fun to use because, like the products I've just shown you, this is also a non-committal product. So they're called semi-permanent hair colours. Semi-permanent hair colours are basically like a conditioner with colour added to it. So you can put them onto any hair. They go on freshly washed, towel-dried hair. All they do is they adhere to the cuticle layer, so they sit on the surface of your hair. That's it. So they only last 6 to 8 washes. If you don't like it, you can simply wash it out. It's very, very simple to basically wash it out if you're not happy with it, all right? So the range that we have here at Schwarzkopf may have been around a very long time. I remember it back in the day, but I won't mention how long ago back in that day was. But live colour, here it is. So we have a core range of colours in these, which are all natural shades. They are perfect For anyone who colours their hair or their hair's looking a bit flat or a bit dull or a bit lackluster and you want to go out and you want to feel good about yourself or whatever the reason is, if you use the core range, what it will do is add shine to your hair. So the core range contains a provitamin B5, which basically acts as a binder onto the hair, leaving the surface of the hair smooth and flat, so it gives the hair a really soft, beautiful feel. And you can do it in lots and lots and lots of different colours. They range from burgundies to reds to coppers. Really, really simple to use. And for anyone who's used them will know, they just give the hair an amazing, amazing colour and an amazing shine, and they last 6 washes. So if you do one and you don't really like the end result, you just wash it out. Very, very simply, just shampoo it out. It will come out. All right. If you really are unhappy with a color when you do it, you can always just use the shampoo and mix some bicarb soda with it, and that will take the color out as well. So it's a non-committal product. Very, very simple. I'll show you, got one open here. All it comes in is a little sachet like that. So it's really, really simple to use. Very, very simple and great, like I said, to add shine as a little pick-me-up. So if you color your hair with a permanent color, you can use it. If you don't color your hair at all, you can still use it. It's really, really simple, no commitment, but it also has this exciting thing, which we've noticed over the last few months here at Schwarzkopf has become really, really popular. We have an ultra brights range. So I brought a couple of them in. I've got a mag purple and I've got a shocking pink here. Okay, admittedly, these colors aren't for everybody, but you know what? The amount of kids who've been coloring their hair with these over the last few weeks has been quite amazing because it's something fun to do. It's not permanent. It's not going to be there forever. If you don't like it, you simply wash it out. Now, obviously, to achieve a really bright result on darker hair is quite difficult, but on lightened hair, very easy to achieve. Very, very easy. And the other range we have within the live color range is this, the pastels. So this is a little pastel color we've got here. They come in grays, pinks, rose golds. Again, same thing, 6 washes. If you have ombre in your hair, or you have balayage in your hair, you have highlights in your hair, you've got lighter ends in your hair, whatever's going on in your hair, the perfect way to just brighten it up is using one of those. You can change the color. You think, okay, this week I want to wear more red, so I'll do my hair red. Next week I want to wear more purple, do it purple. Mix them together, create your own colors. It doesn't really matter. It's no commitment. It's just enjoyable fun for you to do yourself at home. Hairdresser's not going to tell you off, not going to do you any harm. If you think of it as a conditioner with color added to it, it's probably a good way to look at it. So now we got through the non-committal, the kind of easier options that we have out there on the market. Let's talk about permanent colors, because for those of you who don't know, to color your, basically to cover your grays, you need to use a permanent hair color. Without a permanent hair color, you can't cover gray hair at all. It's impossible to do. So permanent hair colors, what do they do? Permanent hair colors basically work by entering the main structure of the hair, which is the cortex. And what it does, it expands within the cortex layer of the hair, so it permanently changes the color of your hair for good. So this is a commitment. You're going to have a regrowth coming through for it. And over the last few months, we've noticed that people haven't been going to salons, so people have been trying to color their hair at home. Best way to do it is you basically, everything comes in the box. I've just picked one of our brands here, which is Color Specialist. Everything comes in the box. You basically mix the color cream developer together. You apply it just to your regrowth, apply it to the regrowth area. So the bit, the new hair that you can see, not the bit that's already colored, just the regrowth area. And once you've done that, you simply massage it through the rest of your hair and you'll get an even color all over. There's no need to color all of your hair all the time. In fact, coloring your hair at home, the biggest mistake that people make coloring their hair at home is they put color on top of color. And color on top of color always goes darker without fail. For those of you who go to the salon, you would have noticed that when you go into the salon and they're doing your regrowth, they just do the color in the middle. They just do the regrowth, the new hair that's growing. They don't do the mid-lengths or the ends. The reason they do that is because we know color on top of color always goes darker. So they follow the regrowth application. You should do exactly the same thing yourself at home, right? Exactly the same thing. Just apply it to the regrowth area only. Take it through to the ends for the last 5 minutes if you need to refresh, and pretty much that's it. Now, so the top 5 tips I would give you for coloring your hair at home would be this. First of all, Read the instructions before you start. 2, make sure the color you've chosen is suitable for your hair, and you'll notice by looking at the guides on the back of the box, which will tell you whether it's suitable or not. Number 3, always do an allergy test or a skin sensitivity test before you apply the color. And number 4, if you're using a color you have never ever used before, do what we call a strand test. So mix a bit of the color with a bit of the developer, apply it to some hair underneath at the back, process it for whatever the processing time is, usually 30 minutes, rinse it off, dry it, and see if the color result is the color you want your hair to be. If it is, then go right ahead and color the whole lot, following either the regrowth application or the full head application. And lucky last, it's your hair. Have fun with it and enjoy playing around with color, because it can be a world of fun when you can't get out of the house or you can't get to the salon for whatever reason that may be. And lucky last, because I want to have some time for some Q&A in a minute, the one thing to remember about hair care, we tend to overlook hair care. People will think, oh, I wash my hair, that's all I need to do. And for most people, that probably is appropriate. If you color your hair, however, you want to look after it. You want the color to last. So always use a mask. All right, one of these. Use it once a week. If you've got hair to your shoulder length, you can use it as often as you like, to be perfectly honest, whenever suits you, I say. My favorite I've got out at the moment, I've just tried to show you, was our biotech range, which is silicon-free and paraben-free. One that's just launched in there. But I have noticed we've got a few questions coming in, so I'm going to quickly get my colleagues here to ask me a few questions, and I'll see how we go answering some of those questions before our time runs out. Okay, good question. Is it better to use semi-permanent colors or permanent colors? And that question's from Karen. Hi, Karen. Very quickly, it depends. If you want to cover grey, you'll need to use a permanent color. If you want to just enhance what you've already got or add shine to your hair, then a semi-permanent color is the way to go. And also with a semi-permanent, obviously, you don't have the problem of there being a commitment of having to look after a regrowth or manage the regrowth. But both have their pros and cons. It's just up to you which you're trying to cover. For grey hair, yes, permanent. Semi-permanent you can use for anything else. They're a bit slow, my assistants here. They're a little bit slow. Ah, Rue, was it? Hey, Rue, yes, hair mascara is brilliant for covering up those really stubborn greys. Particularly like some people, I mean, I can't see you, but I'm assuming, you know, some people get them right here. They get those stubborn little bits. When they color their hair, it doesn't cover for some reason. You don't get the coverage you're requiring on it. Hair mascara, perfect for that. But for anyone else who's got a problem with that, here's a great tip. When you're using a permanent color, if you've got those stubborn bits of hair that don't cover when you're covering your greys, like they just, you know, they just won't cover that little bit, here's a great tip. Use just the color cream, okay? Nothing else, just the color cream. Open it, put a little bit on your finger, wipe the color onto your hair, just there. That's assuming it's here, there. Then leave it 10 minutes, okay? Then mix up your color with the developer as you would normally do, and then apply the color straight over the top. Now, it's not 100% foolproof, but it does work in about 98% of cases, and it's a really good way to deal with those stubborn grey hairs that never seem to cover. And it's a great question because, yes, if all else fails, go for the mascara, that'll cover it. Yes. Yep. Ah, Rose, good question. Rose is asking, how do you remove color if you've got a lot of color on your skin, so excess color on your skin? Okay. Oh, did you? That's not good to hear. I hope it's fixed by now. Oh, you're a purple people eater. Oh, bless you. Oh, look, a very simple way to do it. Okay, good question. If you get color onto your skin, the very first thing you need to do as soon as it happens is to wipe it off. Wipe it off immediately, okay? Don't wait, get it off there immediately. You don't want it sitting on the skin. Then The best way to remove color is color will always remove color. So when you wet the hair, colors have emulsifiers in them. So you emulsify them. So you're rubbing the color onto your skin when you're taking it off. And what will happen is the color will remove the color stain from there. If not, another great trick you can use is you could use like a very cheap cologne of some sort, which has got alcohol based in it, or an alcohol white would do it. Back in the old days, and I don't know if I should mention this, but back in the old days, they used to use perm solution. And they used to put cigarette ash with it and rub it on the skin because it was abrasive. Now, I'm not promoting that at all, but it does work. But I would recommend using an alcohol wipe or a cheap perfume, or if you're not very good at getting onto your hairline very evenly, use a barrier cream. Something like Vaseline will do. And all you do is you apply it just to your hairline so that if any color comes onto your skin, it won't cover. Don't forget your ears and don't forget the back of your neck here. All right, those bits are a bit more difficult to see. Here, obviously, you see quite clearly. Yeah, if you rub color on color, it's your best way of getting it. Lots of questions, that's good. Ah, how to do the strand test. Great. Who was that? Standard Cobra. Standard Cobra, great name. Hey, yes, the easiest way to do, when I was talking about doing a strand test, like before you color your hair, how can you do it? You basically get the same amount of developer and the same amount of color cream. The easiest way to do it is get a plastic teaspoon. Don't use anything metal. Anything metal will react with anything that has an oxidizer, and permanent colors have an oxidizer. So use a plastic spoon. So put a plastic teaspoon out, put a bit of color on it, put the same amount of developer with it, mix it together with gloves on, obviously, with gloves on, and then just wipe it onto the hair. It's all you need. You only need a small amount. We're not talking a big section here. We're talking about centimetre square is all you need. I mean, big enough that you can see it, but we're not talking about doing a great huge section. So a small teaspoon of each will do the trick. Just mix it together. That will do it perfectly. Ah, okay. Ammonia-free versus ammonia permanent hair colors. Okay, so you'll notice that in the market today, you have ammonia-based permanent hair colors and you have ammonia-free permanent hair colors. Now, how do they both work? Well, they both work in exactly the same way. The difference is one doesn't have ammonia in it, obviously. So our ammonia-free product here is Perfect Mousse, right? So we have this product here, Perfect Mousse. Now, how it works is this. You basically use an ingredient that does the same job as an ammonia-based permanent color, but you substitute a new ingredient for it. So in ammonia-free permanent hair colors, the product we use is called ethanolamine or monoethanolamine. In permanent hair colors with ammonia, we use ammonia. They do the same job as each other, but one doesn't have the smell. Because for some people who are sensitive to smell, ammonia seems to have a negative reaction for them. They don't breathe well with it or for whatever reason. But it's not necessarily an ammonia-based thing that it's going to be more gentle or softer on the hair. And it's also not a thing that you will get a reaction if you use an ammonia-based product. Most skin sensitivities come from the dyestuffs which are contained in hair color, not ammonia or ammonia-free. Key difference between an ammonia-free permanent hair color is it has a more translucent finish. So it has a more see-through finish to it, whereas the ammonia-based permanent hair colors have a more solid finish to them. But use whatever works best for you, and both have pros and cons depending on what you're trying to achieve. Oh, we did get a lot of questions on blonding, which I haven't touched on, and unfortunately we're nearly out of time. I have a habit of talking too much. I do apologize for that. Blonding products, very, very quickly. Blonding products all work the same. They're all designed to do one thing, lighten hair. So unlike permanent hair colors, they don't add pigment into the hair. They remove pigment from it. And they follow a standard process of stages of lightening. Now, we don't have time to go into all of that, but we can have a look at questions and get back to some of those questions as time permits, because I don't want to hold everybody else up. So thank you, everybody, so much for all your questions and for being involved in today. It's been fun. I've been in my studio. I haven't been in my office or my studio for about 3 months. So it was nice to get back in here, and it was a nice easy way back into work. Thank you very much, and we'll cross over to Katie and Sharon.
Hi.
Hi, thank you, Grant, so much. And it's a shame you didn't get 2 blonding tips, because as somebody who gave themselves a COVID colour, I really could have used that patch test before half of my head went orange. But that's the story for another day. So thank you so much, guys. So much chat, so many great questions. As Grant mentioned,